Whoopi Goldberg's on Broadway.
Cause like I have the kind of gig that allows me the freedom to travel, you know what I'm saying? Cause I'm a thief. Like, okay, I'm a surfer, okay? And like, I totally love to surf. And like, people are always coming up to me going, like, are you a valley girl? And I go, no. This is my long, luxurious blonde hair.
Hello, everyone. I'm Leslie Hoban Blake.
And I'm Charles Gross. Welcome to Two on the Aisle. Please like and subscribe to this channel and follow us on Instagram.
Today, the Whoopi Monologues. The Whoopi Monologues, 1983. The show was called The Spook Show. And a little black actress who couldn't get work in New York decided that she was to hell with it. She'd write her own show. And she'd give herself a name that nobody would forget. The name was Whoopi Goldberg. Her name was Karen Johnson, but she was forever to be known after that as Whoopi Goldberg. The show became the hit of the season. By 1984 and 1985, Mike Nichols had signed on and became her director, and the show went to Broadway. Jump ahead to 2005. She's back on Broadway and does another show, again, with some of these monologues and some new ones. And jump ahead again, 2026, 5 very talented actresses are put together in a show called The Whoopi Monologues. And they do her 5 characters. It's brilliant, brilliant.
This is the show that asks the question, can you make Whoopi without Whoopi? I don't think she ever intended for anybody else to do these monologues.
No.
But these are 5 very talented actresses. 4 of the monologues I remember from her original show in the 80s. One of them, which deals with the recent history of female sanitary products and menopause, that's one that she would not have been able to write back then.
That's the one from the 2005 show. That's what she added later on.
Now, admittedly, it's been a long time since I've seen these sketches. I think they hold up very well. I think there have been some changes. My 2 favorites remain one with Fontaine, who I believe is male. And if he is, he's the only male character in the evening. He's a thief and a junkie who has a master's degree from Columbia.
No, a PhD, excuse me.
Excuse me, a PhD.
So, a PhD, yes.
I mean, who comes up with a character like this? Who goes to Amsterdam to see the Anne Frank house?
Well, he goes to Amsterdam for the drugs, but he goes when he's there. You know, I'm already here. I'll go see the Anne Frank house. It's not.
And the impression that it makes on him, it was wonderful then, it's wonderful now. Then there is the one that I wanted to see, but I knew it would make me very sad. The one with the surfer chick. She is now called a surfer girl, but originally she was a surfer chick, not a valley girl, because as she points out, there were beaches before there were malls. And this is at the same time the funniest sketch and the most tragic. It
may be tragic to you, but as she says, you can't go surfing with a baby on your back. So she makes lemonade out of her lemon.
She has a one-night stand. She gets pregnant. She tells everybody, I'm PG, and they respond, oh, you're in a movie? And then there's a botched abortion, which means she will never be able to have children. That, to me, is the tragic part. She has the sunniest attitude.
Well, she's a surfer girl. The one that I adored and the one that made me cry is the little girl with what is a skirt on her head. She was called the little girl with a skirt on her head. Now she's called the blonde girl. And it's a black child who wants to have long blonde hair. And all the trauma that's involved with the beauty shaming of black children historically is in that little 4 or 5 minute monologue. And as I'm saying it, I'm crying because there's so much pain. And it's just this sweet little child. And all she wants is long blonde hair. Now we get to the Jamaican lady.
Well, the Jamaican lady, this is a woman, she's working in Jamaica. This elderly man who she calls the Raisin invites her to be his housekeeper and something else. And again, I'm going by a 40-year memory, but originally I don't think something else happened.
In this one, it does. And he buys her some lingerie from Fredericks of Hollywood.
She becomes someone very beloved to him, and she ends up inheriting his fortune, much to the dismay of his family.
Which is a very happy story. And you know, there was a character in 1983. There was a handicapped person. Actually, she was called a cripple lady, because
Yes, I
you could
remember
say
that
the
one.
word cripple in 1983. The cripple lady in the original had very bad cerebral palsy. It teetered on the line between good and bad taste then. It would be impossible to do now. So
Which is why it's not included.
that is wherein comes the lady with menopause from the later show. And now we're going to start to talk about the actresses, because the lady with menopause is the incredible, the incomparable Keisha Lewis from Hell's Kitchen, Tony-winning actress sublime. And she plays a woman with a fan and a heating problem. And I don't need to say any more than that about it. She's magnificent. They are all wonderful. I miss Kerry Washington. You saw her, so you can
Yes.
talk about her.
Well,
In the
she was
meantime-
the surfer chick / surfer girl, and again, funny and tragic. I really love the sketch. It makes me cry, but it also makes me laugh.
Well, the fact that she can bring us to tears with these is an amazing ability in her writing.
We've got Cara Young as Fontaine.
There are two more people who must be named. Dominique Fishback, but she played the little girl who wanted the blonde hair.
Yes.
And Danielle Pinnock from Ghosts played the Jamaican lady. She was funny and warm and witty and very athletic.
Right. Whitney White has the unenviable task of following Mike Nichols, who directed Whoopi originally on Broadway. And I have to say, this is a good package. I will give this, no, why not? 4 playbills.
Well, it's a whole new show because it's 5 actresses instead of 1. So I agree with you about, but I would give it 5. I had the best time. I was afraid. I went, oh, I remember the Whoopi show. I remember when it was Spook Show. I remember when it was Whoopi on Broadway. She did it at the Dance Theater Workshop originally, and that was in my neighborhood on 19th Street. It was her neighborhood too. She was a Chelsea girl. And so I want to give it 5. I just think one playbill for each of the wonderful actresses in it. That's how I feel about it.
Okay. And I will point out that in addition to these monologues, Whoopi also appeared on Broadway in revivals of Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Oh, yeah.
And a funny thing happened on the way to the Forum, which
Absolutely.
was perfectly suited for her talents.
She is an amazing actress and couldn't find work because of things like, well, it's a dinner theater job and we can't have you kiss the blonde actor in Texas.
And that is our show for today. When you go to the theater, look for Leslie and me, us too,
On the aisle, having a good time, laughing and crying.